And we're back. How's it going, everybody? We just got done with the Xfinity race. I think that's the first time I've ever started a stream, like, at the tail end of at least when I was picking up the winner's interview. Trying to get more on it for you guys. But that was the 2023 Pit Boss 250 at Circuit of the Americas. From what I could tell about you guys watching during the race itself, is it seems like you guys were pretty darn happy so far with Cota, stages or not. Looking at the chat right now, Raptor Hard Mind asking where Paludo finished. I will go through the finishing order in a moment. My volume apparently went low. I don't know why, but I'll work on fixing that. There's ding dong dinger dings a donk. No cautions, all tracks. Will Creed ever catch a break? All these are valid questions or comments to have. I agree, though. Creed had a real chance. I don't think he was going to get it, though. As the title reads, AJ is him. AJ Allmendinger, at least Xfinity-wise, probably is the greatest road course racer that we have seen, at least in the last 10 to 15 years. But I'd say AJ is definitely... he's him right now. By the way, click that like button if you haven't already. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe. We are really close to hitting 61.7. I love just hitting these milestones with you guys live. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and like the stream. Danny Alex, my shirt says, "What the F does Kyle Petty have to do with it?" It's an old Dale Jr. quote. But you know what? I've had you guys wait long enough. Let's go through some of the stats of this race as well as the finishing order, and then we'll go. Yeah, I pretty much blocked it. I'm looking at the shirt when I ringed it up, and I pretty much blocked it with the mic. But let's go through some of the stats, the finishing order, and so on and so forth, and then we can get into some of the questions too. Starting off, this race was 46 laps long. There were 6 lead changes among 4 drivers. 5 cautions on the day, and the race went for a 2-hour, 5-minute, 1-second run time. So pretty good for the most part, I'd say, on all those fronts. Not a wreck fest. There was a lot of contact, but it was not necessarily awful like, the Indy Road Course was this past year in 2022. So I personally thought it was pretty fun. I thought it was better than the truck race. I thought that it was enjoyable for the most part, which is pretty much all I can ask for with an Xfinity race. By the way, yes, those who were betting in the previous stream or putting it in the voting for the poll, yes, the over won, I think, on both cautions and time. And so, let us get into the finishing results of this race as we're about 5 minutes into this baby and 40 minutes past the hour. Starting off, AJ Allmendinger in the number 10, not the 16, the 10 car, wins the 2023 Pit Boss 250 at Circuit of the Americas. William Byron with a second place in that 17 car. Then Ty Gibbs in the 19 car in third. Sammy Smith, the first regular, in fourth. Then fifth, Justin Allgaier. Daniel Hemrick finishes sixth. Seventh is Sam Mayer. 8th, Josh Berry. Sheldon Creed in 9th. And in 10th, continuing his streak from last year, Riley Herbst scores yet another top 10 finish in this young season so far. So that's the top 10 so far, which is, I'd say it's pretty good. Any reaction to that before we go on to the rest of the field? I see some saying AJ shows what a clown he truly is. I mean, he won the race, so is he really that much of a clown? Yeah, Spencer did say that there would be 5 cautions in the last stream, and you know what? He was right. There were 5. Let's go on with the rest of the field then, if there's nothing else really to add too much. In 11th, Brandon Jones. Chandler Smith, 12th. Miguel Paludo, 13th. Jeremy Clements, 14th. LeBay in that number 92 for Josh Williams. Finishes top 15. Good run for that team as well. In 16th is Anthony Alfredo. Parker Retzlaff, 17th. Grala, 18th. Mosak in 19th. And 20th is Ryan Ellis. Jeb Burton with the 21st place finish. 22nd, Kyle Weatherman. 23rd, Ryan Sieg. Eric Almirola, 24th. Jeffrey Earnhardt, 25th. Kyle Sieg, 26th. 27th, John Hunter Nemechek. Then Josh Bilicki in 28th. Brad Perez, 29th. And Joe Graf Jr. rounds out the top 30. Final car in the lead lap in 31st is Parker Kligerman. Now, from there, we have one car that was on the track still at the end of that race that was off the lead lap, and it was a lap down driver in Cole Custer, 32nd. And then the rest, from what it could say on the NASCAR website, seemed like these were the guys all who were out from 33rd on down. Poole in 33rd, 34th, Brett Moffitt, Sage Karam in 35th, Preston Pardus in 36th, Austin Hill with some issues mechanically in 37th, and then 38th, finishing last in his inaugural start in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, is Carson Hocevar. By the way, as we're getting over 200, be sure to like that like button, like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. See if we can get about 100 likes on the stream as we go. But looking at some of the responses here, like Blue Jimmy saying Herp's slowly starting to impress him, seeing improvement with each season. I've seen improvement just from this season from last. So pretty good run for Riley Herbst overall. And again, so far this season, he has been the most consistent driver, it feels like. Nap Racing Fan 927 brings up a good point. The booth was okay to good. Broadcast wasn't bad either. I honestly thought the broadcast wasn't much to complain about. There was some times where they would go to commercial when they didn't have to necessarily, or when it was during a battle. I get that that's not great. That's why I'm not saying it was a really great broadcast. But for the most part, the announcers were on it. The camera angles, I love the camera angles today, especially those I don't know if they're drone shots or crane shots through the S's. I thought those looked great. But yeah, let's see what else we got in here. Milton says he'll never forget AJ Allmendinger's celebration reaction to his first Cup win in 2014. Neither will I. That's one thing you can say about AJ is he definitely celebrates his wins like it's gonna be last. By the way, while we're at it, I'm gonna be putting the finishing results up top up there. So here we go, 2023 Pit Boss 250. And there is your finishing results for the day. They'll be running unofficial at the moment until inspection is through, but we're not going to stay for 5-hour stream. But I will remind you that tomorrow we'll be live after the NASCAR Cup Series race at Cota, as well as live on Wednesday night for the NASCAR Weekly Podcast on this channel, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And also on top of that is I'm being blinded because the sun is just setting here and it's hitting some glass off screen. So it's like just corner of my eyes a little blinded for about a minute. But the NR Cup Series will be live on April 4th on IDK Players channel as a Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. One hot night at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Last race on his channel before we get on this one. But let's look at some of the other things you guys had to say. I mean, poor Creed. Creed, I think, at the moment is the guy that the most that most of us feel bad for, I think. Just because he was running up front, and I'll be real, AJ dumped him. There's no way around it. I like AJ Allmendinger, but he let him around pretty quick and pretty easily. I live in the Nashville area. I won't say where exactly. I don't feel like somebody who doesn't like me coming to visit me. I'm not saying y'all don't, but I don't like saying too much of where I live at. Let's see what else we got. PT Gaming we did miss a crash during side by side. Again, I'm not saying it was great. I think the people on air were pretty good today. What do I think of Corey LaJoie's chances of getting a better ride within the next few years? If he elects to and brings a sponsorship, I think his personality would be great for the sport. So, I mean, I'd be cool with it. I just don't know if he'll leave that 7 car. I think they're building something there. But let's go through point by point what happened in this race. In stage 1, AJ Allmendinger took the lead early from Sheldon Creed after Creed got it from him on the start. Pretty good racing there, and it showed that 2 car was not going to go silently as the night went on. But then on lap 8, you have your first incident on track as Carson Hocevar's car, something I think happened mechanically, and the car stopped at the top of the hill, which is something that we weren't going to not see the rest of the day. And with that, a lot of the leaders pit. 8 stay out there. I believe AJ Allmendinger stayed out as well. And this is also around the time that Austin Hill had some shifting issues. But one thing I remember from this part of the race was that AJ Allmendinger and crew were saying that he was on vacation. And I can tell you with the way that William Byron was running him down at the end, I do not think that that AJ was on vacation at the end of this race. But the stage ends with AJ winning it, Creed coming in second. And looking through, there were a couple people who scored stage points that would definitely need them being full-time. And that would be Kligerman in third, as well as Herbst in sixth. Brandon Jones, after a very sour start this season. I think this is his best finish of the year in 11th. I want to say. He has had a very poor start, but he got some points there, as well as Sammy Smith, Sam Mayer, Justin Allgaier, all them. So, stage 2 starts from there. And with stage 2, you have AJ and those staying out pitting. But, of course, the race stays green, so they don't know that a caution's going to come out, in which it did with Preston Pardis' car stopped at the top of the hill. From there, you have the restart. Almirola and Allmendinger, they get spun around. But Brandon Jones has a flat that brings out another caution due to a shredded tire. On lap 24, though, Byron would take the lead from Creed. I felt like every time I saw Creed, when he was in the lead, it was him in the lead getting passed. It was like the constant, like rolling the stone up the hill only to be sent back all over again. And then you have, of course, Moffitt stops in the track, brings out another caution. And at the end of the stage, Creed gets the win over Ryan Sieg. Sieg had the lead for about half a lap under the end of the stage, but doesn't just, what do you call it? Doesn't close it out. Caution comes out right after he gets passed, and that's it from there. Now, that's also due to, I believe, Cole Custer being stuck in the gravel around the same time as Sam Mayer pitting. But with 14 to go, you have the restart into the final stage of the event. From there, AJ Allmendinger, who had been way in the back because of that crash, had marched his way up and was 6th on the restart, and then got up to 2nd place on the restart, or on track. And that's when he spins Sheldon Creed around, gets into him. It's clear as day he spun him. Whether it was two people going for the same real estate or an intentional wreck, I'll let you decide on that one. But at that point, William Byron pulls up beside him and is challenging that number 10 car. And so it's the 17 versus the 10, basically the rest of the way. With 12 to go, I think under side-by-side coverage, they were side-by-side again. And AJ had talked about his brakes going away. So on top of all this battling for the win, you also have in the back of your mind that AJ Allmendinger might lose his brakes at some point in this race. He didn't. And from there, they keep racing. The only real thing to talk about of incident at that point is with 4 to go, John Hunter Nemechek would spin from the 6th position. And so the last couple laps as it winds down, Byron starts to run back down I almost said the 16, the 10 car. He gets right to his rear bumper. I think either with 2 to go or 1, it might have been the last lap. I can't remember because I was on it. I was watching, man. I wasn't paying attention as much. I just wanted to see the gaps and everything. But yeah, it was the final lap. William Byron closed in a ton and then missed a corner trying to chase AJ down, giving AJ about an extra second of cushion over the 17 car. And from there, he had said that he backed it down. So really wasn't going for the win. And from there, Allmendinger grabs it. Looking in the chat, let's see what else we got in here. By the way, be sure to like the stream. Let's get to about 100 likes as we go through. I like what PT Gaming said. We didn't get any phantom cautions. I appreciate that. I'm with Tyler though. I love Cota. I love Cota. Let's see. Aaron says optimistic send from AJ, but Creed shut the door late. So that's what it seemed. It felt like it wasn't just AJ dumping him, but you could, I mean, by definition, the 2 got sent by the 10. It wasn't, I don't think it was intentional, personally. But again, I'm letting all y'all be the judge of that. Let's see what else we got here. I don't think they need to find him. I scrolled up. I'm like, I don't think we need to find him. Like some people are saying in there. I'm with Napa Racing Fan, though. I want to keep Cota on the track. I know Nicholas Gray saying Cota is overrated. I've been there. I've watched on TV. I've enjoyed every year of Cota fully. It is, in my opinion, my favorite. I think it's the best road course right now. It's up there with like Watkins Glen, and if you want to add in the Roval. Let's see. YNS Darksy says, Creed said, how much more room did he want me to give him? I mean, yeah, it's at the end. No, AJ does not need to be fined. That is NASCAR racing. Like, come on, grow up. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing generally. Okay, I'll ask this. Let's do a poll. Just opinions on Cota. I don't know how many options we're gonna have on this one, but we'll go. We'll. First one will be love it, like it, don't care, slash kind to dislike. Not don't care. Can't spell today. And then hate it. Those will be your options. All right, so what are your opinions on Cota? Do you love it? Do you like it? Don't care, kind of dislike it, or do you hate it? Poll is up now. YouTube telling me that something is wrong, even though I know nothing is, because they've been screwing with streaming lately. Yeah, I think it's just hard racing. Personally. How's it going? She ranked 244. Going pretty good for me. West Virginia. I like that. That reminds me of SpongeBob. I have a soft spot for Sonoma. Or no, that's the one under it. Hold on. They keep moving on me. The Glen will always be number one for me, but Cota comes in a close second. And Tyler says I have a soft spot for Sonoma Raceway. Been there in person. I can agree. By the way, we have a nice amount of likes on that one. Let's see if we can get 31 more than nice. Grover Cleveland says it's just hard racing. Napa Racing Fan says Road America should have never got dumped for Chicago streets. At least attendance wise, I agree. I haven't gone to Cota 2 years in a row. That was so much fun. But looking at the early polling here, about 100 votes in, and 58% say you love it, and 59% now, but 35% say you like it. 4% are kind of don't care, meh. And then 2% of you absolutely hate Circuit of the Americas. So about what I was expecting. I didn't think there was going to be too many in the middle, as I think that road course racing in NASCAR is very much a form of racing that splits fans a lot. It's either you kind of like it or you don't like it. Because I know some older fans who, even though the racing is fun, don't like Cota. But I know a lot of newer fans who love road course racing. So yeah, that is an overwhelming majority. I believe that is, my math is right, 93%, I want to say, or I believe so. I mean, 7% are on the net negative side. I agree with you, Freeman Motorsports. No stage cautions helps the flow so much. Yeah, and even when there were stage cautions, I don't want to hear people say, see, it didn't change anything, because people and teams would have raced the race differently. It's like the same thing I said on my playoff videos. I know they would have raced differently. It's just for fun, like the hypothetical part. But for this part, those cautions came out. But the drivers never knew about it. The teams never knew about it. So I personally think it made a huge, really fun difference. And I hope this is the way it is from now on. And I agree with Kyle 3000. The cautions felt shorter today too. They felt much shorter today. And I appreciated it. Marky Mark, thank you for the $2 super chat. 10 out of 10 shirt. Thank you. I got this at Talladega last year. I saw it and I knew I needed it. And the funniest thing, too, is like I got it. I get to my seats. I look over and Slapshoes has the same shirt on. I'm like, hey, buddy. Nice. And Noah Coleman, I know they would have raced differently. Yep, I know they would have. But I had a lot of fun with it. I hope I'm interested in their opinion. I'm interested in the opinions of people who have only known stage racing on not having the stage cautions. Do you like it? Do you not like it? I did this in the truck race, but I want to do a comparison, if I can, of past Xfinity races at Circuit of the Americas, and see the difference in time. Sorry about that. So, like I said, 2 hours, 5 minutes, 1 second for this race. Let's see the last 2 years. So, last year, with one less caution, was 2 hours, 13 minutes, and 14 seconds. By the way, we're going to end the poll here. I think it's pretty clear what the results are going to be. Damn near 95% from my end. So yes, the 2022 version of this race was 8 minutes longer with one less caution. Went the same amount of laps, though. Let's see the first one. The first one was 2 hours, 9 minutes, 25 seconds with 46 laps with one less caution. So I think that part of it is the stage yellows. Stage yellows last longer than normal ones. That's at least what the statistics show. When I did a deep dive, the stage cautions at road courses combine usually for about 30 minutes a race. A little under sometimes, but generally in that area. So, I'm someone who thinks some races should be shorter. I'm not necessarily against shorter races, but I think before we change anything with the lengths of these races, there needs to be something done about the stage racing, because looking at it, there is a very good argument in place that 4 to 10 minutes of race time can be shaved off without having to sacrifice the racing for the fans. That, I think, would be the way to go to start with. NASCAR wants to compact everything. That's how you do it, in my opinion, to start with. By the way, we're only 19 away from 100. Let's lick that like button. Let's get up there, and then let me see. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe, as we are now, it loads up for me, we are 7 subscribers away from 61.7. So be sure to subscribe if you're new here, because we do this just about every week. If I am not at the track, we are here after each race of the weekend, live streaming after, unless my internet's went out for the windstorm of the century, like the truck race at Las Vegas. But lick that like button. Let's get those likes up. Be sure to subscribe. Here come the paramedics that are going past. If you're new here, you'll need to get used to this. Here they come. Here they come. Listen. Here they come. Wee woo, wee woo, woo, woo. Okay. Here. Also, for those of you who found it fun on the Daytona streams that we did this past February, I actually do have Madden 07 running in the background with current rosters, and right now it is Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Buffalo Bills. Entering the fourth quarter, the Buccaneers are winning 29-20. So there is that to have some fun with, too. Noah Coleman says Montreal over all other road courses. I like the idea of racing at Montreal again. I think that NASCAR needs to enhance its presence internationally if it wants to grow the way that other sporting leagues in America are growing and not get left behind. So I am all for racing in Montreal. Great track, great fans. I think we'll have a great product and great racing. So I'm all for it. I am all for that. I am for a race in Montreal before any street race in Chicago or New York or wherever the hell they want to go next. Freeman Motorsports, do you think the mechanical gremlins will be a factor tomorrow? So a lot of big teams with issues today. I wouldn't be surprised with it. I would not be surprised one bit if we see more of that. Ryanidius, I think is I don't know if I said your name wrong. I'm sorry. But does Iceberg live near an ambulance base or something? Yes, I actually do. It's right next door. By the way, 6 likes away. Oh, man. No matter what I drink today, whether it's beer, water, sports drinks, whatever, my throat is dry for some reason. I think it's just the air. Hear me out. Replace the Summer Atlanta for Road America and replace Dirt Bristol for North Wilkesboro. Well, I think, Tyler, that North Wilkesboro will not be the one they're going to replace Dirt Bristol with, but I do think Dirt Bristol one day will be replaced when it runs its course, and I think it's going to be replaced by the Nashville Fairgrounds, personally, if they don't replace the Super Speedway with it. Maybe they make that 2 races. Who knows? Let's see. I can do without stage caution, so I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of people very happy without the stage yellows. Yeah, Blue Jimmy, next door, it can be bad, but honestly, it's not horrible. You get used to it after a while, so it's not bad. My computer's on fire. Let's look at a couple more chats here before we end this off. I think for tomorrow, previewing the race tomorrow, there is where's that? Here are the picks that everybody on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast had. And by the way, want to see our picks for Richmond? I think Richmond's next. I can't remember. Hold on. I know you guys are going to probably correct me before I even say it. But I'm going to look anyway. I believe it's Richmond and then one race in Texas. I think it's the trucks. But, and by the way, thank you for hitting 100 on the likes. But the picks for tomorrow, Eric has Ross Chastain. Me and Darian have Kyle Larson. Danny has Alex Bowman. And y'all in the chat have AJ Allmendinger winning 2 days in a row. So, interesting there. Let's see. Yeah, BMG 12 has the truck time distance comparison. And this year was shorter, even with one more caution than 2021. And way shorter than last year. Let's see. I see that Tyler's taking Kimi Räikkönen as an underdog. Claude, I kind of agree that Eldora was a great race. I don't know. I think from what I heard, the rules kind of screwed that. But I wouldn't mind the Cup race at Eldora. I think it'd be much better than Knoxville was for trucks. Yeah, the chat currently has 1 more point in the pick points over Eric this weekend, so there's that. That's right. So Xfinity at Richmond at 1, which I think by that time I'll have a new haircut to come on here with you guys. Trucks at PJ1 Texas at 4:30 on FS1. Okay. Noah says, y'all ready for a 2022 Cota sequel? I think it's going to be fun tomorrow. I really do. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see. Bubba qualified P11. Those 2311 cars look good this weekend. I mean, Bubba has shown improvement at road courses. I wouldn't pick him even as an underdog, but I'm not going to pick him to wreck every weekend anymore. Which is about all I could ask for him. It's kind of like Dale Jr. at Sonoma back in the day. Like, Dale Jr. used to be garbage at the road courses. And then I want to say from 2013 on, he never finished lower than 12th, I want to say, at Sonoma. Jordan Taylor win incoming. I would pick him as an underdog after the or Justin Taylor, as Mike Joy would say. I kid. But I would pick him as an underdog. Good car, good team. Seems like the driver drives it pretty damn good. So it's gonna be interesting to see what Jordan Taylor does. Shadow_Ponds_0 says the race was awesome, but long walk back to the car. Yeah, I've been there, and I'm assuming that means you're there right now. Yeah, there's a lot of walking at every road course, but Cota is absolutely crazy for it. I love it. If you can, if they have it, I don't know if they do because I'm not there. Definitely go to the road course go-kart track they have outside of the front stretch. It's absolutely amazing. It's so much fun. And then also, I believe Eric Estep is there. So if you guys see Eric, say hey to him. He'll be hard to miss. All right. But I think that about covers it for tonight. I think that covers it, and I think that I should let you all get back to your night. Let's have a good night, and I will see you guys tomorrow after the Cup race. So until then, have a good one.